You ever stop and realize how long it's been since Skyrim came out? Like, this game dropped in 2011. Some of us were still in school. Some of us probably didn't even have jobs yet. And yet somehow, Skyrim is still everywhere. It's like your dog, who never wants to stop playing fetch, no matter how many times you throw their toy. Most games fade out after a couple years. Maybe they get a remaster, maybe a sequel, then everyone moves on. But Skyrim refuses to die. And it's not because Bethesda keeps re-releasing it, though, yeah, that definitely helps. It's because the community never stopped breathing life into it. Every time the game starts to slow down, modders show up like, nah, we're not done here. And that's wild to me. It's not just nostalgia keeping Skyrim alive, it's evolution. The game keeps changing, adapting, growing, becoming something new every single year. Skyrim stopped being just a game a long time ago. It became a home, a canvas, a place where thousands of people create, share, and tell stories in a way the original game could never have done alone. And it made me start wondering, who are the people behind all of this? Who are the ones quietly shaping Skyrim into what it's become? Because at this point, it's not Bethesda keeping the torch lit, it's the modders. You know, for me, Skyrim's always been one of those comfort games. Something I can always come back to when I'm burned out or just kind of lost. And recently, that's exactly where I was. Gaming had started to feel like a chore again, and I thought maybe I'd just grown out of it. But one night, after scrolling through my Steam library for the 20th time without clicking anything, I saw Skyrim sitting there, waiting. And I figured, why not? Maybe I'll just revisit it for old time's sake. But this time, I didn't just want to play Skyrim, I wanted to see how far I had come. I started diving into the modding scene again, looking at all these insane collections people were working on, and man, it hit me how much the community has grown since the days of downloading 5 mods from Nexus and crashing your game every hour. Coming back to Skyrim in 2025 didn't feel like replaying an old game. It felt like stepping into a completely new one. And that spark I thought I lost, it came back, hard, mostly due to To Sovngarde. And behind every amazing moment I've had coming back to Skyrim, there's a creator who made it possible. These are the people fixing bugs Bethesda gave up on years ago, redesigning dungeons, rebuilding combat systems, and improving the way snow falls on a mountain just because they can. They're adding tiny details that most people won't even notice, like the sound of armor clinking when you sprint, or the way NPCs actually look at you when you talk. Stuff that most studios would charge you for in DLC, modders just give it to you for free. And the dedication behind that is insane. These people spend weeks, months, sometimes years working on something they might never get paid for. And they're not doing it for clout, they're doing it because they love Skyrim. When you really think about it, modders have probably done more for Skyrim than Bethesda has in the last decade. And I say that with love, but come on, it's true. Without modders, Skyrim would have just been another great RPG from the 2010s. But because of them, it's become this living, breathing ecosystem that still pulls people back in over a decade later. Skyrim in 2011 and Skyrim in 2025 are two different games. That's entirely thanks to modders. I still remember my first time modding it. It was chaos. I had like 100 mods, half of them conflicting. The game crashed every 10 minutes, but man, it was fun. It felt like exploring something I wasn't supposed to be touching. Fast forward to now, and we've got full-blown overhauled collections like To Sovngarde, entire modding teams putting together hundreds of mods that all work seamlessly, transforming the game into something fresh but still familiar. You don't even have to spend hours managing load orders anymore. People have done that work for you. And it's not just quality of life stuff. It's full new lands, new characters, new stories, and mechanics that could honestly compete with modern releases. Modlists like Elysium Remastered or Fus Rodeau turn Skyrim into something that feels more alive than half the AAA games coming out today. And if that wasn't impressive enough, there's Skyblivion, a full team of volunteers rebuilding Oblivion entirely inside Skyrim's engine. Think about that for a second. It's not a studio, not a funded company, just fans rebuilding an entire Elder Scrolls game from scratch out of passion. That's not just dedication, that's love. It really shows how the Elder Scrolls community doesn't just play these worlds, they build them. And when you look at the bigger picture, it's not just about mods, it's about people. People who taught themselves coding, scripting, 3D modeling, all just to bring their ideas to life in this one old game. Think about how many late nights went into one single texture mod, or how many test saves were corrupted before something finally worked. That's passion. That's art. And it's easy to forget that these are just regular people. College students, parents, night shift workers, sitting behind their screens, crafting worlds that millions of players enjoy. They've created an entire culture that thrives on sharing, collaboration, and creativity. It's a reminder that even when a game's official support ends, its story doesn't have to, because as long as people still care, it never really dies. Skyrim isn't just surviving, it's thriving because of the people who refuse to let it fade. It represents something rare in gaming today, a world that truly belongs to its players. Every mod, every quest, every texture that someone improves, it all adds to something bigger than the game itself. It's proof that creativity, community, and passion can outlast any release cycle. And honestly, it's humbling to know that after all these years, the game that once defined our childhoods is still being reshaped and reborn by the same kind of people who fell in love with it just like we did. That's legacy. That's what gaming should be about. So to every single modder out there, whether you made a whole new world or just changed how torches flickers in caves, thank you. You're the reason Skyrim still feels alive. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I want to say to all the creators who've kept Skyrim going after all these years, thank you. If you got a favorite mod or creator that deserves some love, drop it in the comments. I'd love to check them out. And as always, stay safe, my friends.